In Minnesota. Hey, Tommy, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave, it's a pleasure to speak with you, sir.
You too, sir. What's up?
So, a little bit of background. I work for a family business that's owned by my father-in-law. He's going to be retiring in the next couple of years. And basically, I run, it's a delivery company, and I run the Minneapolis branch for him. And he's up in Duluth. And we're getting to the point now where we're needing to upgrade in space. We've run out of space, basically, for the warehouse down here. And so we're looking, I've been looking for places to either lease or possibly purchase. And my wife and I have been following your plan since February. And so we're totally on board with getting out of debt and everything. I'm wondering if there's anything in your teaching that kind of lines up with, how you treat a mortgage, but except for businesses where, the purchase specifically of a building might fall in lines somewhere with your teaching. Is there anything like that?
Nope. I don't buy real estate other than I don't buy anything with debt, but I don't recommend you buy any real estate except a home as a possibility with debt. Here's the problem in business. Okay. You've outgrown the building. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
And if you buy another building and you outgrow it, now you have a building with a mortgage on it that you can't use. Right now, all you are doing is leaving a landlord in your rearview mirror. So the thing about business is business makes the money, not the real estate. If you want to be in real estate investing, save up some money and buy some investment real estate. But very few businesses, you've got to be able to very carefully forecast your needs in order to buy, and you need to have the cash. So I'll tell you what I did as an example, okay? 19 years ago, I moved into a 55,000 square foot office building as a tenant. I leased two of the four floors, or 1.5 of the 4 floors, with an option to expand through the building. Any first right of refusal as any tenant left as a tenant. I also took an option to purchase the building for $5 million for 5 years.
Okay.
An option to purchase it, but I didn't have $5 million at the time.
Sure.
So I couldn't buy it because I don't borrow money. But I had the right to buy it for 5 years for $5 million, and we were the tenant. During that 5 years, we filled that building up, and it became worth about $12 million. And I scratched and clawed and got every nickel out of the couch and closed on it at $5 million. Okay, we were able to close on it at the 11th hour just to get in under the edge of that option. But it was a good move because suddenly my net worth went up $7 million that day.
Right.
I bought it for 5 and it was worth 12. Right. Oddly enough, though, it was almost full when I did it, and so I was right back in the soup. Right. So we ended up renting buildings all around that area. And began saving money during that time. And so now, 19 years later, we just moved into another building that we did pay cash for, and dad blame fit isn't about full. And so I'm I broke ground this week on another one next door. And so my brand new building's got a mud hole to it next door to it right now because we're going up again. And so the thing is, the only good news in all of that is I had the cash all along the way. Had I not had the cash, I would not have done it. But the truth is, the emotions you experience during that, and I've personally experienced them, I'm telling you, is I'm suddenly going, crap, I've got this really nice building, and we're moving out of it.
Right.
The old 4-story one it's now worth almost $20 million. Okay, and so And so my real estate Dave starts to be at odds with my business Dave, and the business makes me a lot more money than the real estate does. And if you're not careful, the tail will wag the dog. You start worrying more about the real estate and, we need to conform the business to fit the real estate. No, by God, the real estate needs to conform to fit the business because it's where the money is.
Right. So do you recommend trying to
I would rent in your case.
that cash?
I would rent in your case, and I would, with an option to purchase. Because you probably got a large warehouse space, don't you, with delivery?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, and so it's fairly inexpensive square footage compared to office or retail or something like that, and so
Right, that's true.
I love warehouse as an investment. I think it's a great investment for you. But if you found a nice office warehouse that you guys could do what I did with that first building, and you leased it for a few years with the right to purchase it, during that time you take over, start running the business, and you pile up the cash and dig the nickels out of the couch, and you pay cash for it. Even if you outgrow it, it's okay. You own it. It's paid for.
Right.
And it's about the only way you can. Yeah, it's about the only way you can fight through the emotions of, well, crap, we got to move. And it's double crap because I own the building. I'm moving out on myself, and so now I got vacancy, or I need to sell the building. Now the good news is the old building's almost full. Almost got it leased up, and so it's turned out to be a great investment. It's all good ending to the story, but it's not always a good ending to the story. You open a restaurant and you end up closing it, and you own the building, you got a really crappy piece of real estate. Because you know what goes in where a failed restaurant was, don't you? Another restaurant that's probably going to fail for probably the same reasons. So you end up with crappy real estate, or you buy a little small office building that's a couple thousand square feet to put your little insurance agency in, and then you outgrow it. You got this tiny little piece of property now you're trying to lease as a commercial property. It's very difficult. So you end up with all these weird pieces of real estate because you thought you were in the real estate business. Be careful, business people. I love real estate as an investment. I've made a lot of money on it, but I made a lot more money running Ramsey Solutions. And don't get confused as to which one's the most important. End of speech.